This is how to test an oxygen sensor still plugged into the vehicle with a cheap OBD2 code reader. If for any reason you want to test the sensor on the bench with a multimeter, check out the preceding video. I'll also link to it on the screen above and also at the end of this video. Let's get to business. Before starting this test, make sure to drive the vehicle for about 10 to 15 minutes so that the engine fully warms up, and be sure to leave the engine running as you perform the test. This allows the vehicle to enter its closed loop state where the O2 sensors are forced to react. With the engine running and the transmission firmly set to park, take out your OBD2 code reader and plug it into the OBD2 port of your vehicle and allow it to fully initialize. If you love this answer AD410 of mine, I'll link to it in the description below so that you can check it out after the video. After the OBD2 code reader fully initializes, proceed to the code reader's live data function and enter it to observe how the sensors are reacting to exhaust gases. Depending on your code reader, this may be called differently and is sometimes called data stream or sensor data. For the upstream sensor directly impacting fuel economy, you need to focus on B1S1, which is short for bank 1 sensor 1. If the vehicle is a V6 or V8, you will also be looking at the second bank 2, B2S1, which is short for bank 2 sensor 1. You should see the voltage reading of the upstream sensor fluctuate between 0.1 and 0.9 volts, especially as you blip the gas pedal. If the readings are stuck on 0.1 volts, 0.9 volts, or any other voltage for that matter, the sensor is bad, damaged, or isn't plugged in at all. This one here shows a flat, consistent voltage of 0, which points to a complete failure that must be replaced. If you are looking at an engine with 2 banks, check sensor 1 for both banks. If the readings indicate a stock value, even when you blip the gas pedal, or worse, indicate a 0 value, you are dealing with a bad upstream sensor that must also be replaced. If you want to see more concise auto DIY videos like this, subscribe and enable notifications so that you never miss any future action. A note here, if you are dealing with modern vehicles, the expected wideband voltage should generally fall between 2 and 4 volts for a working unit. The key word here should be the movement and reaction to the quick blipping of the gas pedal. For the downstream oxygen sensors, expect stable readings of between 0.45 and 0.7 volts. This indicates that the catalytic converter is working efficiently. However, in the rare instance where the downstream sensor or sensors fluctuate widely and mimic the upstream sensors, the catalytic converter is likely failing or degraded. This does not necessarily indicate a failure of the oxygen sensor or sensors themselves. Another way to figure out the true state of upstream sensors is to look at the fuel trims, especially the long fuel trims for the affected banks. Since the ECU gets its fuel data directly from the oxygen sensors, all you need to do is to take a look at how the fuel trims look. If you have 0% as we have here, an open loop, or simply fault, even after the vehicle reaches full operating temperature, the sensor or sensors are bad and must be replaced. Once you master the live data function of your OBD2 scan tool, you will easily isolate any challenge your vehicle has with amazing accuracy. This is one of those instances where this wisdom is once again proved true. Remember to check out the video displayed on your screen now if you want to figure out an easy way to test an O2 sensor on the bench with a multimeter. This isn't goodbye. Catch ya on the next one.